Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What up, yo? Detroit is Wake Up Woodward. And I am really, really ecstatic today because I know that tonight is DMAC night at LCA and we're hitting the streets. We're hoping to see you guys out there chat. The best chat on the entire network. Actually, man, I think it's the best chat out of any content creation and media in the world. But who knows, man? I'm Detroit Kool-Aid. It's my boy Matt Broder. We got KG in the sound booth. We got JB in the TD booth. Chat, the phone lines are going to be open, 313-552-6322. We're going to make sure we get that into the chat as well. But I need you guys also to continue this streak. Another day, another time of dominance.
I have a question.
Continue to hit that like button, y'all.
Can I request that we get the camera on KG for a second right now?
You know what? It's
Stop
appropriate.
it.
Come on, you guys.
Let's see that. Let's see that sweater.
Come on,
That
stand
hoodie
down.
sweater.
We
Let's
gotta
rock.
stand up so we can see
Let's
this.
go. Let's go.
Also, people, don't be alarmed. I do have a top to my head. I normally wear beanie caps, but I wasn't feeling it today. So
I ain't gonna lie. I saw him walking past the window, and I was like, "Yo, that guy looks a lot like KG."
It's like James Houston on ice skates.
You know what? As soon as I take off my hat, people are like, "Who is that?" You
It's
know what?
part of the identity, the D, the Old English D.
Let's rock. Let's rock. Fast forward. Let's go. You in there, JP?
We got 3 out of 4 people wearing hats today.
Yeah. But you want to tell the people a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today? In this
Yes, I will. We're going to go around the city here in a second. Just touch on all the key topics from the different teams here. We're going to go into some more Red Wings here at 8:15. Talk about the Heritage Night, DMAC night tonight at LCA versus the Colorado Avalanche. After that, we got some comments around the NFL, really originating in the Windy City because they blow about the Detroit Lions.
you ain't lied about that one.
Let's go. I can't wait.
Justin
man.
Fields, DJ Moore, and Matthew Stafford all saying that the Detroit Lions are dirty. We got something to say about that at 9 o'clock.
We defend
Excuse
our
me,
own.
at 8:45. Jordan DeJohnny of CBS Sports put the Detroit Lions coaching staff in a pretty nice he tiered the coaches, the head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator around the NFL. Got some good words for Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell and his staff at 9 o'clock. We're going to get into some mock drafts.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do it at 9:15. We're going to go with top 5 rivalries. We're going to talk about this. This is now in honor of DMAC, in honor of the Red Wings and the Colorado Avalanche rivalry. That's what we're doing at 9:15. We're going to take calls. We're going to talk Red Wings. We're going to talk Lions a lot. We're going to save some Pistons and Tigers mostly for tomorrow. But tonight it's about DMAC, and tonight's about all these hot headlines around the NFL, specifically aimed at the dirty Detroit Lions. Dirty, yeah.
I can't wait for that segment, and I need all you guys to definitely stay tapped in today. I think you guys are going to like what we do in that segment because we got to defend Detroit. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of coverage. There's a lot of jokes. But when people start to try and complain at all about Detroit, especially these Lions, man, now I see why these Lions are winning, man. Grit is not just a word. It's an identity, and they got the NFL shook. But we're going to get there. I'm trying to come back down.
Like Mobb Deep.
This is bro, look, this is the headlines. This is the headlines. We got to finish this segment. We got the segment popping at 8:30. But the Pistons, man, they waived Malcolm Casalon. It was one of their two-way players. He actually did pretty well for them down with the Motor City Cruise.
I was about to say, does this
Another
move the
French
needle?
player.
Or he was doing all right, but it is what it is.
For the player that he was and what he was going to be able to contribute to the actual Detroit Pistons, it doesn't really move the needle. As it relates to the Motor City Cruise continuing to have good players down there that get signed to other teams, you know, I wonder if he'll wind up back with the Motor City Cruise as just a cruise player rather than a two-way player.
Gotcha.
But for the Pistons, where it becomes something of note is that now they have an open two-way spot. So it'll be interesting to see if they've identified somebody else that they think down this stretch can help them. And I know we're going to probably get into it maybe tomorrow, sometime next week. Some of the comments from Monty Williams at practice was able to ask him some questions, like we told you guys. And he had some interesting comments about how they want to finish out the rest of the season. And I do believe eventually that two-way spot that was just now opened up is going to play some type of role.
Love it. I'm excited to learn more about that. How that all works. You can teach me a little bit about all those contracts, the two-way contracts, the G League. I'm excited.
Yep. And the Tigers, man, you got to talk to us about this. Just over 2 days until the first spring training game against the dreaded New York Yankees.
Yes, sir.
By the way, is this VMix Social up there right now? We got Shane D on
Hey,
screen.
shout
Playoff
out.
hockey is the most intense athletic competition on the earth. You're cooking in there, JB.
I'm trying.
JB the GOAT, man.
See, we're doing some new things here at Woodward Sports. But yeah, Tigers start spring training, their first game Saturday afternoon against the New York Yankees. Not much going on. They're just, training down there, getting ready for games to get started. So we'll continue coverage about the Tigers. But yesterday, and JB, do you have this video of Javi Baez?
I do.
I don't
Give me
know
one
if you guys
second.
realized. Maybe he's a switch hit. Maybe he's been hitting from the wrong side of the plate
Word.
his whole career.
Okay.
There's a video of him
whole career.
taking
His whole
swings from the
career.
left side.
Check
Maybe
this
to prevent that what would now be an inside slide. Look, he made contact. Look at that.
I know, right?
He made
Come on.
contact. Look at that.
Come on. So for you guys, so you all know, Javi Baez is a right-handed hitter. He was taking swings from the left side, both to help to see pitches from major league pitchers, just to stand in there and see them. But he also said that hitting from the left side, it stretches his back out, it opens up his hips. He's just sitting there having fun. He's not a left-handed hitter, but that's something he does to balance out his body. Because when he's taking big hacks at sliders outside the strike zone, it can do a number on your back. He takes
can
some big
imagine.
hacks. So there's our Detroit Tigers coverage for the day.
She's our chat MVP.
It's going to be hard not to read every single comment that goes in front, JB.
don't
You're making this
do
way
it.
too easy on us.
Definitely. And you know what, man? I'm really glad that we are being able to get the opportunity to include our chat family more
Yes.
and more and more. Whether it's going to be in future giveaways, whether it's going to be in content like tonight, whoever's going to be down at LCA, we want to be able to link up with you guys. The content will be featured on our platforms, on social, and especially on Wake Up Woodward, because you guys deserve it. This is supposed to be a platform for the people,
Yeah.
not just the information that we bring. So I'm glad that we're starting to
Yeah.
incorporate more and more.
Like we said, we're going to get into some topics. We're going to have our debates, but there's a little higher percentage on this show. We're going to be presenting the key stories and talking about the key stories of all four of your Detroit sports teams. So it truly is something we're trying to build way more for the people, for you guys. So thank you. Thank you for that support. We're going to talk more about the Red Wings in the next segment. They play tonight at 7 p.m. It's DMAC Heritage Night. But Colorado Avalanche, they're one of the better teams in the NHL. They got 74 points, which is good for 5th in the NHL, 3rd in the Western Conference, and 2nd in the Central Division. So while the Red Wings are chasing or holding their playoff spot, chasing a playoff berth, the Avalanche should be in there too. So it should be a very competitive game. We're going to get into the DMAC's details next.
Yeah, and the Pistons, I forgot to say this in the Pistons
Yeah, let it fly.
segment. They actually play tonight. They resume their post All-Star break games tonight against the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. If you guys remember that kind of budding rivalry between Benedict Mathurin and
Love
Jaden
that.
Ivey and all of the talk, the reason why I didn't really respect the Benedict Mathurin talk towards Ivy is because Jaden Ivey is averaging just about 23 points per game, like 5 rebounds and 5 assists against the Indiana Pacers in his career. That means that's against Benedict Mathurin. So that's a game to just kind of keep an eye on. If you like hoops, like I like hoops, it's definitely going to be one to look at and see if these Pistons start off the second half of this season post All-Star break with the type of fire that Monty Williams was saying that they're feeling.
I love that. I love
definitely.
that. From a Lions perspective, and again, we actually have another segment when we're talking about their coaching staff. We're going to get into more details, but they officially hired 3 new coaches on the defensive end. We talked about them in the past. Terrell Williams from Tennessee, Deshae Townsend from Jacksonville, and announced yesterday Jim O'Neill, formerly the DC at Northwestern. He's coming on to be a defensive assistant. Started his career way back when, 2008, as a safeties coach at EMU. In 2008. But the key thing is they're losing a couple of their coaches. Brian Duker, Dre Bly, John Scott Jr., John Fox, Jim Hostler. There's a whole slew of coaches. They were busy. The Lions were busy making official transactions yesterday. At 9 o'clock, we're going to go into a little bit more depth about this. But Michigan Hoops play their next game's tonight against Northwestern at 9 p.m. Okay, moving on. No, I'm just kidding. Did you guys see
Great
the
analysis.
Missouri football team take a page out of the Michigan Wolverines football book, posting on Twitter their new facilities.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right?
So there's Mizzou football. You know, we all know their Block M is pretty similar to Michigan. Then they were tweeting
But I don't
about
see anything wrong yet. What's going on here?
the team. This tweet, it said they're opening up these new facilities. It goes the team, the team, the team.
Okay, that's blasphemy.
Yeah, so Michigan fans were clapping back at that. And then all of a sudden, Michigan Twitter got involved, and they decided what they respond with. It was imitation's the best form of flattery. It was what was that? Where's that tweet? The team, the team, the team. This is one of the pictures. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. What was the actual tweet?
You know what? I got
Here,
it
I
right
got
here,
you.
actually.
Hold
I can
on.
also talk about it too. They said, yeah, imitate it, but never
Or
duplicate
duplicate
it.
it.
There we go.
Yes.
Let's go.
There we go. So I said the little playful fun in the offseason, but tell us about Michigan State basketball. They got a game coming up, Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Their next game is versus Ohio State on Sunday at 4 p.m. And you know what? This Michigan State team, they have an opportunity to be able to solidify their standings, not just in the Big Ten tournament, but as March approaches. And you know, look, I'm a Michigan fan, but greatness has to be respected, and Tom Izzo is one of those guys who lives for March, and he generally is going to have that team at least ready to go in there and play a little bit better and a little bit higher than where they have started the season off at. So Michigan State, they got a big game coming up, a big matchup versus Ohio State, the dreaded Ohio Buckeyes is what I'm going to call them.
Yeah, they're in fifth. They're the fifth seed in the Big Ten right now, so any game is important, taking a jump up in those standings leading into the Big Ten tournament. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Red Wings. But, KG,
What up?
today is National Margarita Day. I don't know if you knew that. Are you
Really?
a margarita guy?
Margarita.
I am not a margarita guy. My
Jake-
girl is, though.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
She like it a spicy marg?
Nah, she fruity stuff. She into the fruity, like, sweet stuff.
Okay.
So.
Did I hear JB, you a margarita dude?
Oh, yeah, the
No.
margarita.
I can see JB with a margarita.
Did you show him your glass in there already? Or you keep that
Oh,
off camera?
no. Oh, no, I keep it over here to the side. No one can know that's in here.
Because you know what? February 22nd, it's also National Chili Day. For me, the chili and I got to do the virgin margaritas. But for me, this is Brad Holmes Day. Like I said yesterday, I got my drink over here, got my dish over here, because you know everything this man's going to do is going to turn out to gold. I have no worries. That's what this type of day is.
He's
for me, man.
cooking.
He's cooking.
He's cooking.
Yes.
The,
He's
the
cooking.
meat, the beans, the cheese.
Smell it in the air.
Chili.
go.
Chili.
Let's
So that's it. I
go.
say we go to break right now. We get back so we can talk Red Wings. We can get into this show rundown. I'm excited that you're all here. If you could hit that like button, it would be great. I'm here with Detroit Kool-Aid, Brandon Dent, KG in the sound booth, JB in the TD booth. My name is Matt Broder. This is Wake Up Woodward. Let me tell you first about Planet Fitness. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. Your fitness is essential.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
What up, though, Detroit? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward.
Wake up, wake up.
And, hey, our chat family, as always, you guys are a big part of this show, just as much as KG and JB, Mr. Brodo over here. Shout out to our brother Flannel Sam as well, and Mr. Terry Foster. Hey, hit that like button, and we want you guys a part of the conversation. So the phone lines today, 313-552-6322. And the best comments from the chat, JB is making sure to keep an eye on the chat, and you guys will continue to have yours featured on this show. We're going to continue to take the steps necessary to make sure that our fans have just as big of a presence on this show as we do. It's you guys' platform. We're just here to serve.
And we get the chance to mingle with you guys in person tonight over at Little Caesars Arena. It's Heritage Night.
Heritage Night.
Heritage Night. So they're honoring DMAC. I think they've have 3 or 4 of these different Heritage Nights. This one's honoring the teams of the late 90s. I believe it's the early 2000s. But DMAC is a part of this. They're giving away a stick case of DMACs tonight. That's part of the Hockeytown Heritage Night. DMAC's also going to be signing his graphic novel, I believe, on the first level. And Tammy's got more details for the meet and greet, the Woodward Sportsnet chat meet and greet in there. So we're all going to try to link up. I know DMAC's going to be running around LCA all night, but there's going to be some time where we'll all be able to get together. We're going to get some content. We're going to take some pictures. DMAC, again, is signing his graphic novel. I don't believe I read the title. Life is a Grind. Enjoy My Truth. So shout out to DMAC, but they're also playing the Colorado Avalanche tonight. So this is full circle for me. I grew up. That was the rivalry. It was Red Wings Avalanche, Michigan, Ohio State, Yankees, Red Sox.
That's what I was going to say, man. You talking about those types of rivalries from back in the day, the Blackhawks and the Red Wings, the Avalanche and the Red Wings. These were the games that I would stay up all night to watch, man. My parents were like, hey, look, you got school in the morning. I was like, no, I got Red Wings right now. That was the team that I absolutely fell in love with, and it's cool to see them continuing, regardless of where these teams may be today or the importance of the rivalry among fans today. I'm glad that the NHL is doing what they need to do to continue to bring some type of remembrance and shine a bright light on the history of these franchises, and specifically, obviously for our Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, it was funny because when I was, we have a top 5 rivalry segment coming up at the end, and I was doing some additional research just to see if there's any things that I'm not thinking of that I'm missing, and consistently found the Red Wings Avalanche like deep in lists, off top 10s, even like in the 60s on one athletic one from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I partly get it. It lost a little bit of luster in the last 10, 15 years because Detroit hasn't been the teams haven't been as great. Colorado has won a Stanley Cup recently, but that was like when I think of rivalries, that's exactly what I picture and I feel. It's DMAC and Claude Lemieux. It's Chris Osgood and Mike Vernon and Patrick Watt, Peter Forsberg, Joe Sakic, the grind line, the Russian Five. Like, I think Red Wings and Avalanche when I think rivalry. As the Red Wings continue to get better this season and as these young players continue to develop and grow up over these next couple years, I hope this is, again, one of those most competitive, intense rivalries, not just in the NHL, but across sports.
And I believe that having a guy at the helm like Steve Yzerman who understands exactly what these rivalries meant towards not just winning, not just towards kind of what it could do for the box office, but also what it did for the pride of this city, for the pride of the fans, man. I believe that stuff is ultimately important, man, because there's a lot that goes into the game beyond just practice, but also the intrinsic values as well. And the intensity of those rivalries, that was hockey. There's nobody that can dispute that. I know that we're a little bit removed from when those two teams were really, really going at it, but this is why this platform exists. We've talked about it before, and we're going to continue to talk about it. We should not be forgotten. Those rivalries should not be forgotten. The contributions that they made to the annals of NHL and sports history as it related to playing all out, as it related to going full-fledged. Like, I wish the NBA would adopt what those Avalanche and those Red Wings teams had. I really wish. We see the Lions adopting a little bit of that edge as well in terms of going out there and making sure, and we're going to talk about it, that you don't leave anything to be decided or determined. That if you lose, it's because the other team was going just as hard as you were going as well out there on that ice, on the field, on the court, wherever it was, man. I believe that we have a responsibility and we should take the authority to make sure that those types of rivalries are never forgotten, especially when our teams are involved. It's our job. This is what Woodward Sports is about. Those other teams, the Athletic, shout out to them, they do fine work. ESPN, they do some okay work. Listen, I'm gonna be fair with you. Here,
some okay
we're gonna make sure that our teams are recognized for what they should be. I know what those teams and those rivalries meant, and sometimes you have to have been there to remember it.
That's true.
But why am I still seeing older rivalries and older franchises still coming up in all of the national media and such? We weren't there for some of these, but you still see them champion. We're going to make sure we champion our Detroit Red Wings.
You can feel the passion in your voice.
They deserved it. They were great.
Yeah.
They were great. They deserve it, and we're going to make sure that we put on. I always said, if we had the opportunity to be able to ever do something like this, that we're going to make sure that just how we see some of these other big media market teams talked about, we're going to talk about ours. They are not supposed to be forgotten. Those times might be gone, but they should never, never, never be forgotten.
KG,
I'm serious.
Yeah, KG, what do the Red Wings mean to you growing up? Does this rivalry hit for you, or what are your thoughts?
Well, the 90s I didn't get a chance to experience much of, but definitely that 02 team is a team that I resonate with, the Russian Five, man. Watching some of those games and watching them eventually win the Stanley Cup, it was absolutely amazing. It was my first real taste and love for the Red Wings. So absolutely, man, we have to preserve our Detroit rivalries. It's a shame that, some of our franchises haven't been competitive in the last 20 some odd years. So some of the rivalries are hard to keep up, but it's definitely something you want to keep fresh on the minds of fans. And yeah, man, rivalries lead to great games, great moments. Right. Yeah, absolutely. We have to preserve that.
JB, tell me about your hockey career growing up. What's your skill level on the ice, and really, what are the Red Wings giving you?
Skill level on the ice, that's about zero. I don't get on the ice and fall. I know that for sure. But yeah, I did get a chance to watch a lot of these Red Wings games back in the day when I was younger. Like, that was kind of the thing after school. It was like Red Wings game. You get a Little Caesars hot and ready. You chill. You watch the game, and like, all I remember is the octopus being thrown on the ice every single time. Like, that was like a huge memory, and that's something that I've kind of always wanted to try and attempt to do, but I didn't know the details and going behind of like trying to sneak in an octopus at Joe's arena. But at the same time, like, it was still a good rivalry that we all had back then. And hey, championship team, glad to see D-Mac get celebrated tonight.
150%. Mike G had just said in the chat, he was running around drunk on Woodward near the Magic Bag when the Wings won in 02. I remember I was at prom in 2008 when they won that Stanley Cup. It happened, it was like 9:30, 10:15. That's when we got the announcement over the loudspeaker from the DJ that the Red Wings had just taken home the Stanley Cup. There was a whole group that had snuck away to find a TV at school. It was a whole thing, and that I even feel like that was a level below, 97, 98, when although I was still a youth, still a young boy. You could feel the energy. I mean, it's Hockey Town. Mr. Hockey, like, is named after the sport. Gordie Howe. Like, this is such a special place. We're so close to Canada.
USA
so
hockey
close.
Training.
What was that?
USA hockey training and practice.
Detroit, like this state is a hotbed for hockey, being so close to Minnesota, to Canada. It's a special place. I wish I was a better hockey player growing up. Maybe I'd be more of a hockey fan. I'm a hockey fan. Maybe I'd be more invested in the game than I am basketball or baseball, football. But there's nothing like playoff hockey. Like they were in the playoffs for how many years in a row? 25 straight. There's nothing like playoff hockey in the NHL, and we got so used to that as Red Wings fans. It's about time we get back. And with the trade deadline coming up on March 8th?
It's time for fans to hop back on the Detroit Red Wings bandwagon.
Yeah. Stevie Yzerman's the lead. He's the captain again. Dylan Larkin's on the ice, but Stevie Yzerman's leading this team.
Yep.
That's something to get excited about, to stay excited about.
You know what? I can't wait for the return of playoff hockey back to Detroit because it just feels right. To me, I want to see the Detroit Pistons be able to make the playoffs again as well. But what playoff hockey meant to Detroit as it related to what the Red Wings brought to the forefront, that's something that just feels right. And when the Red Wings are down, I don't know, man. My sports fandom overall is just like, it feels like there's something missing. What Steve Yzerman has been doing, kind of being meticulous, being patient, kind of making the right moves, and still being able to convince people like the Brinkat, people like Patrick Kane, that this is a place that's on the right market, that's on the right trail, getting back to this place of glory that the Detroit Red Wings and their fans have known forever. That, to me, it just bodes very, very well for where they believe they're at. We talk about the Detroit Lions kind of moving into this position where they're able to do some of the same same things. Go out there and find these specific pieces that can help put them over the top. Obviously, their aspirations right now are about winning a Super Bowl. The Detroit Red Wings right now are trying to take this next step to become not just a playoff team, but longevity of success. Being able to make the playoffs year after year after year and giving yourselves an opportunity eventually to go out there and win Lord Stanley Cup right here. You know, and that's what I believe that Steve Yzerman is doing right now. He's putting this team in a position to where I think, you know, for them, the next phase of this thing is shoring up that defense and making sure you got that goalie that can enter the playoffs on a hot streak and really be able to carry this team pretty far.
Yeah, this is where we start creating memories. And when you guys call in, again, the number is 313-552-6322. Feel free to share if there were some memories that you witnessed at a Detroit Sports Championship or you were at the parade. This question's inspired by Tammy Chin, who said, I was downtown for the parades for the Three Wings celebrations. I was at the Palace in '89 for the first championships. Great memories. So call and share your memories. Call and share who are some of your top rivalries. Call and share any memory about DMAC or the Red Wings. Give us a call. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, man. It's the time is right. The
Yes.
time is really, really right. You know, and the Red Wings, they're one of those teams where we talked about how the Detroit Lions, they would have a setback, whether it be a turnover within a game and then come right back down the field and say, you know what, you never saw that, or a loss, and they would come right back the next game and say, you know what, there's a victory. These Detroit Red Wings, they've had some steps back, but they've also turned it around, and they just picked up 2 big road wins, man, to help this playoff push. To be able to see this type of resiliency out of this team, where in years past, I've seen them kind of teeter, and then all of a sudden they just kind of lose steam. I believe that this team is primed to be able to make these playoffs, man.
100%.
Look at this, man. Steve Yzerman.
Beautiful.
Dylan Larkin, man. Captain for captain.
Beautiful. ADIS411 says in the chat, from 95 to 02, Red Wings was dominant, and it was Hockey Town. 01 to 08, Pistons was fun to watch in a contender and went to 2 NBA Finals. That was an epic time.
Yeah.
Tammy Chin follows up.
Epic
No
time.
matter what happens, I trust Mr. Yzerman. Yes, sir. He will get it done. I love that. I love that. So, again, tonight, it's Heritage Night. They're honoring DMAC. He's going to be signing his graphic novel, Life is a Grind, Enjoy My Truth. There's also going to be a Darren McCarty stick case giveaway. That's tonight. Home game at LCA versus the Avalanche at 7 p.m. We're going to be there around 6, I believe, strolling around the concourse, meeting you guys, and we'll link up where Darren McCarty's signing autographs and taking pictures.
Definitely.
We will see you there. Also, check out, if you have questions of the Woodward Sports Chat meet and greet, Tammy, I'm putting you to work. I know you have a full-time job. I'm giving you a part-time job this morning, and I know you're happy to help out DMAC and the Red Wings.
You know, we won't even call it a part-time job. This is about the family reunion.
That's
You're
right.
You're the family reunion coordinator right now, Mr. Tank.
I love that. I love that. Kool-Aid,
Yes, sir.
before we talk about some of these comments from around the NFL,
You know what?
Detroit's
I'm getting
yeah,
ready
put that
already.
on.
I'm getting ready already. Because y'all already know, man, where I go to get my pet lion the best. And I can't wait for this next segment. You know what? I got to throw out this phone number. You guys want to get involved in this next segment.
Please.
313-552-6322. And definitely going ahead and hit that like button to support the crew and continue to show the type of people you guys are as it relates to supporting your guys, man. We appreciate you guys at Wake Up Woodward. But where do I go to get my lion the best? Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference, though. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. Over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you same day, local curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com. The Lions got the lead. Shook.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Football season is over and spring training is upon us.
Yeah.
But Jack Labrador is 24/7, 365 days a year. Check out jacklabrador.gg so you can learn how to play this new game on your phone. They got 2 new symbols to replace the rock, paper, scissors, and they have a franchise-changing 3-point play. You got to check them out, and you got to learn at jacklabrador.gg. Just remember, once you go Jack, you never go back.
Oh. Y'all got some low-key, like, dirty players low-key.
Who?
What, y'all remember that y'all hit the crap out of Luke?
Oh, yeah, that's Junior Cora.
Yeah.
That's your boy, Notre Dame. You're a Notre Dame boy. What do you do? I told him, I was like, hey, bro.
He hit the crap out of him. He ain't even have to hit him for real.
Y'all got some dirty players on your team. I'm not gonna cap.
Bro, no, we don't.
I know we don't. Look, bro,
who's dirty? Who is
34,
dirty?
bro? Anzalone, bro.
34 is not dirty.
Anzalone, bro. He be doing a little bit too much extra stuff for me, dog.
He just plays hard. That's how we're taught. We're gritty.
I'm cool with that. But all the extra stuff, like, I'm cool with that. Like, tackle me, boom. All right, get it.
Joseph either. Hey, that's a good hit. That's a good hit. You dirty as you know it. You dirty as. It's been on tape. I've seen it. Hey, it's been on tape. It's on tape. You're right. You're right.
Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. What up, though, Detroit? I've been waiting for this segment, man.
Boy.
I'm fired up.
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up. The Detroit Lions got the NFL crying, bro. I didn't even mean to rhyme. Bars, let's go. The Bears pumped them to the moon. They crying. They got the NFC North shook, man. This is our division.
Talk to them.
They got the NFL shook. They in the playoffs got people crying about football hits.
Talk to them.
Are you kidding me? Bro, they wouldn't be able to survive in the Ndamukong Suh, Nick Fairley, Ezekiel Anza era of the Detroit Lions defense. We're sitting here talking about, yo, they need to get a little bit more on the defensive line. Maybe we need to get an all-pro type linebacker. Oh, man, our defensive backfield. They're crying already about this because the Detroit Lions are carrying the big stick. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? When I saw the Justin Fields one, all of those other times where I remember hearing some press conferences, where I remember hearing like people going on different podcasts talking about, oh my gosh, the Detroit Lions are so weak. Are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is what a time to be alive for the Detroit Lions. Grit is not just a word. It's not just promotion. It's not just marketing. It literally is. These Detroit Lions. And I cannot believe it. You talk about Dan Campbell walking in here and absolutely imprinting his identity on this team. You talk about the fury. What do you call it? Controlled fury?
Oh, yeah.
Controlled octane
fury.
You talk about a guy who took the 0-16 season. You talk about he took all of that, bottled it up, and just absolutely unleashed it within this team, man. It rings so much better when he said, yo, who are the players that were here? Who are the players that remember all of this stuff? That's no longer a part of this organization's history. We don't talk about it no more. Why? Because the Detroit Lions are going out there, and it's not just, oh, we're going to try and play physical on the field. They're winning at that. And it's because they are dominating teams and beating them into a pulp and into submission. I can't wait for this season, man. And Brad Holmes, the types of players that he continues to identify, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I told you guys, I was trying to control the fury, man. I'm sorry, Dan Campbell, if I didn't control the fury enough,
keep
man.
that bat over on that side.
Getting us a little nervous,
right? How difficult it's been to not just be like,
Look at that look in his eye.
But then, that'll probably come out the paycheck. So I'm trying to
keep it close.
Let's go, Lions. Let's go, Lions.
KG, I've seen that look in your eye, especially while Kool-Aid was talking.
Yeah.
How does this make you feel? What do you think about not just Justin Fields, but DJ Moore, Matthew Stafford, Vikings fans, Rams fans?
Listen, And I echo Kool-Aid's energy, man. Like, I don't appreciate people coming at my city like this, especially when it's not warranted. Just being real for a second, I don't like that dirty label being put upon us.
Thank you.
And it's just wrong, man. Yes, there have been unfortunate situations in between that, like the hot kid and, you know, Stafford being concussed mid-game and they didn't pull him. You know, different things of that nature, but they were all above board hits. This team is not dirty. We come out here, we play hard, and we're physical. For the first time in a long time, when you go against the Lions, know it's going to be a long, hard, painful game. So I don't like that dirty label, man. We haven't done anything to warrant that. This isn't like Bounty Gate. Like, come on now. This is just football, man. Like man up, bro.
There are times where you can call a player dirty, a team dirty, and it's warranted. But when you make that step, when you make that call, when you put that label upon somebody, that's career defining. That's reputations at stake. That's an organizational reputation at stake. You can't just say that if it's not true. Matthew Stafford running up to Kirby, and I know that it's in the middle of a game. I don't think they should have released the audio. The Rams shouldn't have. It was on their sounds of the game, which they don't even usually put out for losses, but they did. And Matthew Stafford runs up to Kirby Joseph and say, "Hey, dude, that wasn't a dirt there. That was a clean hit, but you're a dirty player." Like,
you know what caught my ear?
What?
When he said it's on tape. That means that the NFL, these other players are scouting this type of stuff. That got them shook. And what do we continue to say? I continue to say this, just kind of the same type of strategy that Michigan football utilized against Michael Penix, beat him into a pulp, and he was limping out the arena at the end of that game. We said, hey, they're going to have to continue to do this to quarterbacks, whether they're getting the sack or not. This was the time where I think everybody realized, all right, the pressures are there, the sack numbers aren't where people wanted them to be, but the effect was totally felt. That's what this is speaking to me. It's not just the fact that the Bears are crying about it publicly. It's not just that Matthew Stafford knew he was mic'd up and cried about it and talked about, oh, it's on tape, though, it's on tape. This, realistically, is about the fact that the Detroit Lions are just not taking nobody's crap, not even their own historical crap anymore.
Right.
This is a different Detroit Lions team. Yep. And you know what I love? The fact that every single team who knows that they're stepping up against the Detroit Lions, they know exactly what they're going to get, man.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes, Sheila, Dan Campbell, oh my gosh. Wow.
And get ready, because it ain't going nowhere. It's about to be here for quite a while. So
not at all.
Hey,
you got
buckle your chin strap. You said what?
You got to put up the Anzalone background.
Oh, I got you. Don't worry about it.
We trolling today, man.
Yeah, while you're putting that up, I'm going to read this comment from Eric Allen. I thought it's a great analogy of this. Broder, the Lions are that little brother that got picked on by his older brothers, then grew up to be much bigger and stronger, who can smack and throw these... throw them around with ease. Yeah. We're trying to keep a little cleaner this morning, but I agree with that 100%. Low key, dirty players. What I don't like about this real quick, when you start giving people those labels, that opens up the door to the dirty players on other teams going and taking cheap shots at Kirby Joseph, at Alex Anzalone, at Julian Okwara. And that's what I don't want to see, because I don't believe that they had malicious intent. They are not dirty players. There are dirty players out there. So as long as they start getting that in their head, the more they hear, oh, the Lions, oh, Kirby Joseph, that just leads them more down that path. And I don't like that.
We saw, I forget who the player was, but he put his full weight and his knee right into the chest of Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know what he did? He got up and he absolutely balled out the rest of the game. Right. Did he cry about it? No, he did not. And he continued to play through it, man. We saw our players go through injuries. We saw Sam Laporta. I don't think that was necessarily a clean hit. That took him out. It is what it is. And what did he do? He decided to go into the playoffs and say, hey, I'm balling out still, man. That it's not just what other teams are saying, but it's about when these same things happen to the Detroit Lions, which they do, because didn't we see the play where it's been several seasons now where Jared Goff, when he does scramble, he's gotten out of bounds and they still go and light him up. It's been a couple of those. I know we posted one of them from last year to socials, and the whole team was like, all right, this is how it's going to go. This is how it's going to go. That's why, we picked this. We had two options to go with. Do we go with Alex Anzalone going, and that kind of showing the ferocity, or do we just go with, we're laughing at you. We're laughing. Right. Shout out Ron Burgundy. We are laughing. That's what we're doing,
Ron
man.
Burgundy?
Low-key dirty players.
DJ
Moore, Justin Fields. You got the leaders of the Bears saying this. You got the leader of the Rams saying this. You got the NFL kind of scouting this. you know what? You step on that field, you better be prepared to play.
Yeah. Definitely.
Period.
Definitely. And that's the message. Like, that's what Amon-Ra St. Brown on the St. Brown Brothers podcast sort of rebutted with to Justin Fields and DJ Moore. But he went into in depth with Justin Fields about
it, man.
We're coached to hit hard, to play aggressive within the rules, within the boundaries. If you're a quarterback and you're not out of bounds yet, you're not completely out of bounds or completely giving yourself up, Dan Campbell says go hit the quarterback.
Yes.
That is a legal, not illegal, that is a legal hit. They're doing this all and attempting to do it within the rules. There will be times where people lose their cool, and there is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that got Justin Fields. I do remember there might have been one where it was probably a little bit late, but it wasn't malicious. It wasn't dirty. It got a flag, and you take your penalty and you move on.
And just think, how many of those type of penalties have we had all year? We haven't.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right. And it's the fan bases of the Vikings and the Rams.
So glad
they
you
were the
brought that
most
up.
annoying. But JB, what are your thoughts on all this, whether it's from the fan perspective or just the dirty label being put on these lines?
I just don't like that at all. Can I just say what sport are these guys playing?
Football.
It's football, correct? Football. It is a rough sport. I'm sorry, injuries will happen. No one is trying to go out there and injure anybody, and that's not anything that the Lions are trying to do. Maybe they play a little bit beyond the whistle, but they just want to make sure, hey, the play is dead, the play is over with, and we can move on to the next one. I don't know why you got Justin Fields, Matthew Stafford, you got all these guys bitching and crying that, oh no, you guys are playing too rough with us out here on the field. No, this is what you signed up for. Get used to it. Stop complaining.
We saw years of dirty play, and that's why I'm glad that KG said what he said at the end of his statement of, bro, the flags would have told the story if the Detroit Lions were being dirty.
Absolutely.
We've seen some Detroit Lions teams that played a lot more over the edge, and even we knew. We love Sue. We can't really take up for Sue. We've seen
dirty,
those
right.
years, man. And you know what else we also saw for years? How many years in a row did we see Matthew Stafford and Megatron continue to have dirty play after dirty play after dirty play, and those things weren't necessarily called happening to them?
Mm-hmm.
We lived through a worse period than what these Bears and the NFL is trying to say about the Detroit Lions, man. I am not here for it, man. I'm glad the Detroit Lions aren't here for it. Smile on Alexander Anzalone.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. I have one. No, go ahead.
No,
I
I
was-
wasn't about to say that.
I was just
wonder
gonna
how
say,
much
just, you know what, screw
JB
it.
wants to talk.
Screw it. Call us dirty all you want. Bring that bad boy image over to the Lions then. Forget it. You know what? You want to call us dirty? Sure. You know what? We'll be that. As soon as you go out there, guess what? You better be prepared to play the dirtiest players in the game.
And you know what? Mike G said Anzalone led the Lions in tackles for a reason. He's tough and harder than Darth Vader. Bears players, get used to it. NFC North, get used to it. NFL, get used to it. Playoffs, get used to it.
Get used to it.
Get used to it. I think it's here to stay.
It is here to stay. And in part, it starts with the coaching staff. They are the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop. That's at least what CBS Sports labeled the Lions, in a tier with four other teams at the top of the NFL. This all starts with, Siren Dante. Real quick,
Let's
before
go.
we get into that cream of the crop discussion, Dante. Anyone remember that late hit on Goff against the Seahawks? No one from the Lions are saying that player from the Seahawks is dirty. So Justin Fields, Matthew Stafford, and Minnesota Vikings fans, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stay out. Oh, hey, Adam. What's up, dog? $9.99, Dante. Thank you so much, man. That's him on the phone with the Minnesota Vikings GM. Say, hey, dude, you're building your team off of PFF. That needs to stop. You guys
know what?
You got a lot of work to do this offseason. Take J.J. McCarthy, pick 11.
Yep. And
Don't.
Jeff says it in the chat as well. They play nasty, not dirty.
I love that.
I love that.
Nasty is a much better word.
I love that. I you know what? Wear that label. I have no problem with it. We've been waiting for something like this. How many years in a row do we sit back and see the Pittsburgh Steelers defenses go ham on people? The Legion of Boom go ham on people, man. What are some of them other teams that we would just sit back and say, yo, I wish I had a defense like that, man? The Minnesota Vikings for a lot of years go ham on people, man. I still am like, I remember Jared Allen, like, for years, calling us out before they got here and then absolutely wreaking havoc, man. Now we got one of those defenses and other people don't really know what to do with it because I think that they were used to the Detroit Lions being the lovable losers, and that's just not where they are right now. It's not cut in Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, or Sheila's veins. It's just not what they are, man. I'm going to continue to say it. Get used to it.
Yep.
These Detroit Lions, they are here to stay. And you know what? As long as we got a platform and as long as they continue to put forth not just saying grit, but bringing it to everything that they do, how they practice and how they play and how they like even with the coaches and such. We keep talking about it. They're not gonna be stubborn. If there's a move to be made, there's a move to be made, man. Whether it's our friend or not, we are here to make sure that we continue to move this ship in the right direction. I salute Sheila and Cole, man. Good job on you, Detroit Lions.
Also salute Harrison Smith, safety for the Vikings, who did stand up for Kirby Joseph after both of his hits, saying it's a rules problem. It's a not even blaming the NFL. It's they're safeties, especially DBs. They're operating within the rules as best they can. It just makes sense to go low. You can't go high. You're going to get fined, penalized. You're going to paralyze someone. They want to avoid that stuff. And unfortunately, that leads to more knee injuries. But, Kool-Aid, before we start talking about those coaches, will you tell our awesome chat, our awesome listeners and viewers about Lady Jane's?
I will tell you about Lady Jane's. You can come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for award-winning haircut experience. I'm going to be at the NCAA tournament this year, and you can as well if you register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tourney. That's right. No expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men is open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry. I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry-aged beef, Wagyu beef, all the most delicious beef you could ever ask for. KG loves it. KG loves it. Minnesota Vikings fans love the beef. You can experience the beef for yourself today. It's the Fairway difference. Just check out their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. They got grab-and-go steaks that are delicious, and if you don't have time to go and shop, order them online and go pick it up at fairwaypacking.com.
Get your meats.
What up, Doe?
Get your
Detroit,
meats.
welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. You know what, bro? I am still on a high right now. Shout out to our Detroit Lions, man. I don't even know what this feeling really is. Like I don't know what to do with my hands. The Detroit Lions, man, they got us all acting crazy. They got people talking crazy.
That's what happens when you make the NFC Championship. That's what happens when you win your first playoff game in decades. That's what happens when you win the NFC North for the first time and still have haters out there.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to the legend, man, Terry Foster, T. Foss, man.
What's T. Foss got to say?
He said, show some toughness and hit Broder in the face with that bat, knock a tooth out.
Whoa.
What?
Jesus.
Whoa. That'll be looking like D-Mac from 97, 98 with missing teeth.
Oh,
those are the days in hockey, too.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of overlap in a storyline with how hockey rules and football rules are making the game a little softer.
Much softer.
Yeah. I never played hockey, and they're definitely not soft players. So I don't. Hockey players are tough. Football players are tough. So no shade there. But, hey, there's some similarities. But CBS Sports, Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Let me make sure I get this guy's name. Jordan Dejani of CBS Sports ranked all the NFL coaching staffs as a head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator, put them into different tiers. And Jordan Dejani put the Lions at the top of his list. In that top tier, he called it the cream of the crop.
Nice.
And this is in a tier with the Baltimore Ravens. That's with John Harbaugh. It's with Houston Texans, DeMeco Ryan, Chiefs, Andy Reid, and Ravens, Cleveland Browns. I love that. Not just Jordan Dejani, I'm actually not familiar with his work, but the fact that he's recognizing this is a very young coaching staff, and as wanted, as much as we expect Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn to have gotten jobs these last 2 years, in Ben Johnson's case, they're still young coordinators. This is their first shot in these roles. So the fact that he's already putting them up in the tiers with the Andy Reids of the world, with the John Harbaughs of the world. Houston, Texas, too. I put them in that same category as the Lions of, man, DeMeco Ryans came in there and completely shifted their culture. So basically, I'm reading this list as the tides are changing in the NFL in terms of not just team building, but building through the coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's not just wonder boys. It's not just offensive or defensive geniuses that sneak up or that work their way up to head coaching roles, although they will still be there, the Sean McVays, the Kyle Shanahans, the Ben Johnsons, but it's also now the Dan Campbells, the DeMeco Ryans, the culture fits, the guys who can connect with their players. Dan Campbell, I've said it all along, him having played tight end in the league, regardless of the amount of success he had as an individual player, he's got a unique ability, having learned to communicate with a tight end who's in the room with the offensive linemen, with the big boys, the tough guys in the trenches, but also in the practice room, the film room, with the quarterbacks and the wide receivers, the stereotypical divas. There are different types of ways to communicate with those different groups of players and just every different player in general. But going through that, knowing how to do that, being the type of player he is, he's built this team and he's built this coaching staff. And I couldn't be more excited about the future, because I think we're going to see a lot of these young players who Brad Holmes drafts actually get developed.
Yeah.
Bob Quinn. So some of the past GMs, I'm not going to defend most or any of their picks, but they had made some good picks, but then the development wasn't there. They didn't have the assistant coaches in place or the structure in the organization to continue to help these young guys develop. Now they have that. Starts from the top. Dan Campbell has totally reshaped this organization. KG, how does it feel having them in the cream of the crop of the NFL coaches?
I mean, it's only right. And then you are going to start seeing more player-led, coaches because of what the Lions have done. More former players will get a shot because of what Dan Campbell and this mostly former player coaching staff have done. And yeah, man, it just solidifies all the work that we've seen throughout these 3 years, going from 3-13-1 to 9-8 to 12-5 in the NFC Championship appearance, man. And hopefully it just keeps getting better from here, but it's well deserved. And yeah, I look forward to them building upon this in the future. Excited for what they got cooking with these new coaches that they've hired. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Nice little segue.
And you know what I like about this, though? Just kind of one comment on this is that for years,
how about two?
We saw the Detroit Lions trying to emulate what they thought was good from other
franchises.
Point.
Great point, Kool-Aid.
The Patriot way when they brought in Quinn and Patricia. Now the Detroit Lions are at the forefront of a way that other teams are looking at and saying, you know what, this works. Let's try and do what they're doing. The problem is, and I've started to realize it, and we talked about this kind of in the middle of the season on a couple shows I was on, the Detroit Lions need to go out there and forge their own identity, and it's not easy to replicate. Why? Because when you have the minds and the people and the connections and the camaraderie like Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell do, the foresight like Mike Disner, Chris Spielman, and Sheila Hamp does, you can't just go out there and replicate that. You can try. You can definitely try, but it's not easily doable. And that's what I love ultimately about the consistency that they have amongst their head coach and Dan Campbell, their top two assistants and Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and reshuffling the deck if they need to underneath that, whether it's a friend or not, whether it's somebody that they thought did an okay job or even a good job. They're saying, you know what though? We have to continue to make sure we move this ship forward. And if it's their way, you know, not everybody can just go out there and say, you know what, we're going to continue to bring in players, coaches, coaches who played this game. We saw the Carolina Panthers try to do that, and it didn't necessarily work out for them. Why is it working for the Detroit Lions? I think it's because a lot more than just having players on as coaches, former players as coaches, but exactly the pedigree that Dan Campbell has, exactly the pedigree that Brad Holmes has, and exactly the honestly, you look at someone like an Aaron Glenn, who they have identified as being one of those guys that other players across the league want to be able to play for, and Ben Johnson, who was the #1 head coaching candidate on this market, man. And they identified this. They did. So it's cool to see that other teams out there are actually trying to do it the Lions way. To heck with the freaking Patriots way and all this other stuff. It's the Lions way now.
Have pride in your coaching staff.
Let's go.
In a way. I love that. And I was thinking while you were talking, I didn't prepare to talk about this, but there's a lot of similarities in, or maybe a few similarities, in what we're trying to build here at Woodward Sports with our show and what they're accomplishing with this coaching staff, just in terms of being relatable to the people you're trying to communicate with every day. We're trying to bridge that gap between the fan and the athlete and media and sports. Like, there's so many different avenues where we're trying to fit in and figure out where our niche is and take over in certain places. So to be able to do that and communicate, it's not just easy to go from player to coach. Like, I'm learning now, as excited as I am about talking baseball, like I got to make sure that I'm not just spewing what's in my head that's maybe some complicated pitching mechanical thing. There's a way to share the information I know in a clear, non-complex way. That's not always easiest. Michael Jordan, the best player of all time, the greatest of all time, and not the best coach or manager. He hasn't made or owner of a team. He hasn't made the best decision. It just doesn't always work out that way. What Dan Campbell and them are building, having brought in, you reference all these coaches they brought in. It was Terrell Williams. He formerly with the Tennessee Titans. He's taken over the defensive run game coordinator position and defensive line coach. Got a lot of development needed in that area. Deshae Townsend, he's the new defensive passing game coordinator and DB coach, defensive backs coach. Again, more development needed there. We think they're going to draft players at both of those spots. And then Jim O'Neill, a defensive assistant who has history working with safeties back at Eastern Michigan in 2008. He's been a coach in the NFL. He's worked with the 49ers. He came from Northwestern 2 years ago. I don't know as much about him, but he seems like a good addition. And to do so, though, They did move on from Dre Bly, cornerbacks coach. John Scott Jr., defensive line coach, after 1 year. I really liked him, too. John Fox, their senior defensive assistant. Jim Hostler, their senior offensive assistant. And Brian Duker, their DB's coach, went to Miami. So I say that all. Dan Campbell, he's not afraid to pull the trigger and make big decisions. And they might not look like big decisions, but they're difficult decisions. We know how much Dre Bly meant to him, and he went out and handpicked John Scott Jr. to move on from them after 1 or 2 years, just like he did Aubrey Pleasant. That we look back on the Aubrey Pleasant move, and while it wasn't all his fault, like, that was a trigger in this Lions turnaround. At that moment, things changed a little bit. So he's not afraid to make these moves, bringing in these guys. KG, you got something to say about that?
Yeah, and I hate to say I told you so, but a couple weeks when we when we got the Deshae Townsend news, my first thing I said was, I don't know what this means for Dre Bly. And now this is going from, okay, they're just adding a couple coaches to the staff, to a complete defensive overhaul.
Right.
And that clearly shows to me that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell did not like what happened in this postseason, man. They did not like the defense and how it was shaping up going forward. So they made some moves, man. I commend them for not just resting on their laurels, as you would say, going out there trying to make moves to aggressively fix what is probably the Lions' biggest problem, which is the defense. But this does bring some questions to my mind in regards to AG. Does this put more pressure on AG now, because we've seen now a flurry of coaches in and a flurry of coaches out? If they don't perform well this coming season, is that an indictment on Aaron Glenn?
That's a great question, and my gut instinct is to say yes. While you were talking, I wasn't thinking that there was much more added pressure I think that pressure will come if that defense struggles with all these moves. If they get a big-time free agent or some free agents and make some moves in the draft to address the defense, I do think that's when the pressure heats up. But now I read this more as strategic decisions to help AG. Like, they need to improve the personnel. Yeah. And although I don't know, I can't grade, other than what we see on the field, I really don't know what they thought of Dre Bly or John Scott Jr., some of these guys. But there was something that they thought they could upgrade their coaching, their development. So I just think it's more arming AG with more resources, more veteran guys developing some of their more youthful positions, the defensive line, the cornerback. So I read it as a good, no-pressure move right now. But if that Lions defense struggles, that's where it definitely heats up, starts getting into the red.
Yep. And you know what? I know we got a break coming up here soon, but I wanted to be able to at least read some of these comments from the chat. Shout out to Big Show Picks. He says, you guys have my mornings covered. First of all, Big Show Picks, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. We're going to always try and do our best, not just with the information, but you'll see some of these other comments, man. We want to be able to connect with you guys just as much as you all support us. He continued, though, Lions, Red Wings, Tigers, and the Pistons, but the sports card segment and the WWE segments fill the rest. Awesome job, boys. Thank you, Big Show Picks.
Big Show Picks is a card guy. Yeah. We've connected offline. He's the man.
That's what's up, man. And that's why I can't wait with some of this other content.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of cards, I saw, is that Macho Man Randy Savage?
Yeah. This is the only wrestling card I have. The only wrestling card I have, it's History of WrestleMania. It's the PSA 10. WrestleMania 5 in 1998. It's Macho Man Randy Savage pinning down. It is Hulk Hogan. Oh, my God. I couldn't see it from the back. Hulk Hogan. This is the only card I had. I wanted something with both Macho Man Randy Savage on it. We got Stevie I before he had the C on his sweater. Nice. So this is 1986. I believe he was a rookie in 82, 83.
Won many years like that.
Yeah, and then we got Mr. Gordie Howe from 1954.
Shout out.
This is Mr. Hockey.
PSA 1.5. So this isn't the best, most taken care of card, but I needed some Gordie Howe in my collection. There we go, 1954.
Definitely. Hey, that's awesome, man.
What about some more comments before we get to break?
John Henry, he said, you guys need to have a show at a conference center with a live audience, a meet and greet after the show. You want to cultivate a relationship with your audience. I hear them face to face. Get up face to face with them. I'm telling you, that is our passion, from KG to JB to Broder, myself, Sam, Terry, and everybody who kind of is involved with the Wake Up Woodward crew. That is our passion. That's why we're starting off with, hey, let's get out in the streets. We're going to be getting out to games. We're going to be eventually getting out to some of these restaurants and such, because we want to be able to interact with you guys. I'm hoping you all show up tonight. We're bringing the microphone. We're bringing the camera. We're going to be taking pictures. We want to be able to feature you guys. We want to be able to get the interactions. We want to be able to help introduce you guys to Darren McCarty and so forth. Like, this is our passion. We definitely want to do this. And KG, you're getting some love today, man. It's kind of like Fashionista Day for KG.
Stop it, man.
Dan Wood said,
I'm not going to lie. You got so many comments over here about that fire hoodie,
bro. He said, first day, KG without a hat? Question mark?
This actually ain't my first day. I have not sported the hat before, but in the wintertime, I always keep the beanie on. Yeah. Anything below 60 degrees, I got a hat on. So.
There you go. Dante said this too. Can we all agree that KG's Red Wings jersey is straight fire?
Hey, appreciate it.
Kalamazoo, KG has a pretty cool Red Wings hoodie. Not going to lie. Hey, hold that up, man. Let's see that again.
Oh, yeah.
That Red Wings
man.
jersey.
That guy 62, that Red Wings jersey is fire, KG.
Hey, I appreciate it. And I will give a quick plug. I normally don't do this because I like to have, my shit exclusive. But I got this.
Shout out, no free shout out.
Right. Shameless plug. I got this off Culture Kings. So if you go on Culture Kings, they got a lot of good, retro, sports gear. And that's where I got it from. So, yeah, this is one of my favorite hoodies. So
shout out, Freddie Felt. Every time I do it for my hoodie. Can we say that?
You can say whatever you want.
Every time I do it for my hoodie. Jeezy voice.
Yeah, Young Jeezy. Every time I do it from my hood. By the way, if we include, so we're planning our giveaways hopefully to roll out next week. Would a giveaway where you can come in studio and just hang with us and watch the show, is that something you guys would be interested in? That's an idea we were throwing out there. We got an extra seat a couple days a week.
Have a Wake Up Woodward live watch party. We
can
get
how about
the seats in there and everything.
Yeah,
that would be
it would
awesome.
have to be someone exclusive of everybody. It's got to be something worth winning. But would that be something you're interested in? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely put it in the chats, man. Let's hear it.
Let us know. I know this is tough. Some people are working during this time. Some people are getting off work. We'll see. But when we come back, It's time to kick off mock draft season. We're going to give our first one a shot. We're going to do it live on air today. We're going to start reacting to fan mock drafts. We're going to have you guys submit yours starting tomorrow. And next week, we're going to start including them in most of the shows. We got Scouting Combine happening next week. I may or may not be there. I will likely be there. Knock on wood. We got a lot coming down the NFL Punch. We're going to kick off our first mock draft, going first round, all NFC North teams here in the next segment. Kool-Aid, we talking about Swiss Insurance.
You know what? I got good news and bad. Actually, I have two pieces of good news and bad news. I'll give you one first. Broder deserves to be at the Combine, and we got to do everything we can to make that happen.
Let's go.
You do. You've done great work, and you deserve this. So I'm glad that things are moving towards that. Cool. And so we can make sure that our audience has the best of the best as relates to the Detroit Lions coverage. But
speaking of coverage,
there's some bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. Surprise, y'all. I think we all knew that. But the good news is Swiss Insurance is here to help right now more than ever. It's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, you guys, are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? Now, come on now. It's a new era in sports wearables with new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear right now at woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We've got everything to get you prepared for next season. The Stoke Not Scared hoodies, and you know, we wish we had that fire Red Wings hoodie over there that KG is wearing,
exclusive,
but you know,
man.
it's exclusive. It's exclusive, but we got some exclusive stuff as well too. So check it out, woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab.
What up, though, Detroit? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. It's been an awesome show, full of energy, full of information. KG's hoodie, I think, has stolen the show here.
I believe so.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, it's fire, bro.
I
it's
appreciate
fire,
that.
man. Especially on a day where we're absolutely talking about these Detroit Red Wings. We're gonna get down to LCA tonight for Heritage Night and for honoring D-Mac, and most importantly, for being able to interact with you all, the fans, man. Yo, our chat has been electric.
Rocking.
Continue to hit that like button. Let's soar past 100 likes. It definitely helps to support the crew and get the stream out there into the algorithm and all that mojo, whatever. But the call-in line, 313-552-6322. We got some interesting segments ahead, including the one we're about to go through with the NFL mock drafts.
Yeah, it's going to be the second hour.
5 rivalries.
Second hour is going to be a lot more chat interactive. We were hitting you with the headlines first hour, but now we got to talk about some decisions that the NFC North teams are going to make. We're going to continue. So call in. While we're doing this mock draft, maybe call in. Help us decide. We're going to assign GMs here. And I'm going to start with JB because he's the GOAT. He's been here the longest. You get to pick, JB. Are you going to pick for the Detroit Lions, the Chicago Bears, the Minnesota Vikings, or the Green Bay Packers?
Ooh, this is a tough decision. Now, obviously, I would pick the Lions, but I'm not going to be selfish like that. Give me the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears. He's picking at 1 and 9. Bears. We're not making trades today. We're going to work on how to do
trades.
that effectively. Second, Kool-Aid on the desk. You going Vikings, Packers, or Lions?
I'll go Packers.
Packers. Pick number 25?
Yeah. Just to make sure that they don't pick Kool-Aid.
KG. What up? Well, you gotta pick how you feel is best gonna fit the Green Bay Packers, even if it's somebody, whoever ends up being Brad Holmes out of KG and me. You gotta pick who the Packers would take. KG, you want Vikings at 11 or you want Lions at 29?
I'll take the Vikings, man.
All right, I guess I'm the Lions guy at 29. I'm going to need all you guys to help me make that pick with who's left. But JB, whenever you're ready to get PFF up and get started, we'll start picking you. I know you got to pick the Bears. You got to select the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings in that pre-mock draft simulator.
Yeah.
And we'll start talking about it. While he's doing that, and JB is going to be Ryan Poles on the podium here to start, do you guys think all trades off the table? You can consider having traded Justin Fields, and we're not going to deal with the draft picks. But at pick number 1, what are you guys thinking? Like, are they going to go Caleb Williams?
I think so. I think Justin Fields is done in Chicago, man.
You think so?
He wasn't part of this regime. He wasn't their draft pick. And I just think their offense is moving in a direction where they will be better suited to have a Caleb Williams. They got a lot of cap space, so I expect them to add another receiver, maybe 2, and to add to that defense. And it's a perfect situation for a newer quarterback to come into. So
While Ryan Poles is getting this set up, Kool-Aid, if you were the Bears,
on the clock,
are you trading that pick? Forget Justin Fields. Are you trading that pick with the Commanders at 2? I've seen the Patriots pick up trade up to 1, or really any team out of nowhere. Maybe Jim Harbaugh at 5 makes a move.
I liked what Justin Fields looked like towards the end of the season, but if you're talking about really trying to accelerate this thing, and I don't know, if you really believe that he's that guy, then you definitely kind of take a chance on it. There's going to be other quarterbacks that you could potentially get later in that draft, later even in that first round, based on how that trade goes. I like Justin Fields, but man, it's tough because you want to pass on whatever star potential you believe that Caleb Williams can have. But if you want to accelerate things, sometimes I feel like trading that pick, surrounding Justin Fields with more, putting more on that offensive line and on the defense would be better for the Chicago Bears.
You trade it, you're still proud. You're very likely going to get a first-round pick near the top of this draft or in the top 15, plus likely a first rounder next year too. So this is a way that the Bears, I kind of hope they don't trade the pick because I don't want them to keep building like they are. That's where you start getting a little fishy here in the NFC North.
So I'm trying to see if this works this way. So let me know if you probably won't be able to see this clearly.
All right,
but
might be a little small. If you think we need to pivot today and react to a mock draft, we can do that and work on this for tomorrow. But Chat, could you see that? Was that clear enough, or do you think we should work on another solution?
Or we could try it this way. See?
Oh yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, well we'll do that. We'll talk about it, and then if you can just flip back and forth.
Yeah, I can flip back and forth to us.
Cool. So you're on the clock.
Yeah,
Ryan Poles.
I am.
You have to pick 1 and pick 9. Talk us through that.
You have to let me know when the pick is in so I can play the draft.
You got draft noises?
Oh yeah. He's got
do you have any music to play? Just any music to play behind?
I can throw some music right now.
All right, let's do that.
War room time.
I'm on the clock right now. I know the pressure is on me. I wish I could trade this pick, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep Justin Fields as my quarterback, and what better way to keep him happy than to pair him with wide receiver Marvin Harris Jr.
Oh!
Hold on.
Oh! Wait, say it one more time. Hit that and announce it one more time. With the first overall pick,
the Chicago Bears select Marvin Harris Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's spicy.
Bring the camera back to us for 2 seconds.
I got you.
That's someone I haven't seen many projections. The Bears taking him at 1, but you put him with DJ Moore and Justin Fields. I know it doesn't address the offensive line yet, but what do you think?
It's going to be another crybaby in Chicago. Okay, now let me be serious. That's when you talk about being able to put some more weapons around Justin Fields. I mean, you're not really going wrong at that pick there.
No, you're not. And then they get a chance at number 9, Ryan Poles, Mr. JB, to address whatever else you want.
On the clock again.
So let's see who's on the clock here. Let's see who you have left at pick number 9.
Is the pick in?
So it looks like Byron Murphy II fell. He was...
this is all that are available right now.
So we're saying Brock Bowers, ranked number 5, just fell to 9. Okay.
So
I'm not
who
going to
was
sway
selected?
you one way. Talk us through where your head's at here.
All right, so a couple people that were selected. You got Drake May by the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Caleb Williams actually goes to the Patriots. Interesting. All right.
In reality, they'd probably flip-flop. Washington's definitely taking them if he falls past Bears. But
Cooper Beebe went to the Chargers. Nice. All right.
What?
Yeah. Nate Wiggins went to...
No, Cooper DeJean.
Was that Cooper DeJean? Oh,
yeah, okay. I was like, they take a guard, number 5?
Yeah, that was weird here. Let me try to zoom in just a little bit more.
Oh, hell yeah.
Watch that a little bit better.
Banana bread at work today, dude? Hell yeah.
Nate Wiggins goes to the Falcons. I'm looking here.
You got tight end. I got a couple tackles. You got Jackson Powers Johnson still available. I hope they don't take him.
Queen Mitchell's is there. Do need a center. God.
Shoot, Jaden Daniels is there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good quality picks here.
Wow.
But shout out to the Ducks. Give me Jackson Powers Johnson.
Wow. That is sneakily a incredible draft pick for Chicago.
And then Brock Bowers goes right after that to the Jets. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, if they want him, maybe they can figure out a trade in the middle of the teens. But nonetheless, all things aside, having Jackson Powers Johnson on that Bears team, KG, he's one of the top. He's the top center available in the draft.
Yeah, and you want to take what the Lions have done, their motto of build that offensive line, protect your investment. I'm not mad at that, man, because they absolutely need some help on that O-line. Protect Justin Fields. Or did you keep Justin Fields? I can't remember.
Keeping Justin Fields.
You got to protect Justin Fields, man. Stop him from having to scramble as much. Yeah, it's a good pick, man. I like it.
Awesome. So now that we got things rolling, we got to sneak in a quick break here. We're going to come back. We're going to finish the first round, and we're going to cruise right through this before we get to our rivalries. So I got to tell you about just like who the Bears just drafted, a big boy, Jackson Powers Johnson. Big boy, they got all the comfort foods you could ever want. They got a big menu. It's delicious. It's wintertime in Detroit. And you know, it's always better with the comfort foods from Big Boy. They got veal parmesan, a Southern Comfort chicken bowl. And if you're hungry for breakfast, they got the stuffed potato pancakes. They're back. You got classic lumberjack and Santa Fe Gardet. They also got Gardet. They also got new apple pie hotcakes. Too good to miss. And if you got a sweet tooth, the gingerbread shake for dessert is it. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort chicken bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a first-class, fast, convenient car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With over 18 locations, there's got to be a dealership in your backyard. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find that location nearest you. Also, check out Woodward Sports there. The Wake Up Woodward Show, and Big D Energy every other Monday at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. They're so generous to host us. It's part of what makes Feldman Chevrolet Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
What up, though? Detroit, welcome back
What
to
up, doe?
Wake Up Woodward. And it is NFL mock draft season. So appropriately, we're going through the mock drafts right now. We're going to continue this trend on. And we want the chat to be as involved as possible. We're going to make sure that we read some of you guys' comments as well as what you would think these teams would do or what you think is best as well. As always, the phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. And chat, help us just zoom beyond 100 likes. As always, you guys have been the best. And I can't wait for what we got planned in the future to be able to interact even more with you guys.
Yes.
But Broder,
Yes.
let's kick this thing back off.
We got a big pick on the clock. KG representing the Minnesota Vikings again. We're acting as the NFC North general managers in this first mock draft. We're going to be reacting to your mock drafts that you send in, as well as other national media mock drafts. But KG right now is playing Minnesota Vikings GM. And you got a big decision to make.
Yeah.
Kalamazoo in the chat says he doesn't want JJ going to Minnesota. I don't know. Is that what you're thinking?
You gonna save him?
And listen, we already sent our card up there. We already rushed. We didn't even need the 5 minutes or however long it is.
Wait, what?
We've already sent our card.
Talk us through
to the
this because I want to see.
said, what?
Chat, what should Minnesota do? Talk me through your thought process of maybe you're taking JJ or not.
So, yeah, obviously they do need a quarterback. Our head coach secretly doesn't like Kirk Cousins, I'm convinced. And, yeah, man, like it's time, man. We need a more sure thing at quarterback. Yes, we might draft and sit the guy for a year or so and get a stopgap in between. But it's time for a new regime, and Kevin O'Connell needs to find some answers quick, man.
Definitely. So
been
who do we have
disappointing.
available right now?
Do you want to read what some of the people
yeah,
saying
let it
before
fly.
he gives his pick?
Yeah, let it fly.
Hey, Mike G said
the
that
pick is
Minnie
in, by the
needs
way.
a quarterback. Stephen Baffy, Bo Nix, Dante151, Jaden Daniels, Denver Blair. The Vikings should pick a backup punter.
That's nice.
And with the pick, nah.
Someone read Mike. One of you guys read Mike G. I don't mean it like that. KG or Kool-Aid.
I read it. I got you. Mike G. Time for a brother at QB in Minnesota.
Yeah.
JJ's got some white boy wiggle.
He does.
But JB, who do we have available outside of the quarterbacks? Because it doesn't sound like you're going quarterback.
I mean, it does kind of sound like he's going quarterback, but here, overall, this is what we got right here.
Okay. All right.
Byron Murphy is still out there. Quinyon Mitchell, Dallas Turner.
Terry and Arnold adding a cornerback. Jared Verse. I've seen him mocked.
Kool-Aid is still out there.
All right, KG, whenever you're ready,
where
get
you
that
going?
draft noise and let us know.
All right, the pick is in, ladies and gentlemen. With the 11th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Michael Penix Jr.
Wow.
Quarterback out of Washington.
You went Penix?
For the first time since Dante Culpepper, we have a brother in the QB position in Minnesota.
You went Penix?
We went Penix. Listen.
Broder
We thought
shocked
about
right now.
We thought about J.J. McCarthy. We did. We really did. We thought about J.J. McCarthy, but it's some things he needs to polish in his game, and I feel like Michael Penix, if I absolutely have to start a QB year one, I feel like he's better suited to the NFL game than JJ currently is at this point. So, but the plan is to draft and stash. We'll probably sign Russell Wilson for a year, get him the hell out of here, and then Michael Penix is ready for the 2025 season.
Wow. Your thought process, it's hard to disagree. Like, if that's what you're thinking, Michael Penix is that dude left in the draft, especially when you're a rookie at age 30. You got that experience. You got that seasoning. You got that. I'm just kidding. What is he, 25, 26?
Yeah.
He's had about 16 ACL surgeries. No. I was interested. Penix is an interesting one because I started to hear some more things, and I'm thinking about the Miami Dolphins. If at 21, if they decide to move on from Tua, a left-handed quarterback.
That's nice, yeah.
Penix is almost that exact same quarterback, but throws a better deep ball. Do you just start over on a rookie contract? It's been thinking about it, but we'll get more into that as we go through the full mock drafts. But Green Bay's up at 25.
Wow.
Let's see what some of these picks were that went before Kool-Aid has to make the pick of Green Bay.
I'm so shocked right now. so shocked right now.
Holy crap. So I see Quinyon. Here we go.
A lot of people went.
Byron Murphy went to the Saints at 14. Terrion Arnold to the Colts. Jared Verse to the Seahawks. Dallas Turner up to Jacksonville, adding some more edge rushing. Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback, goes out to
Kool-Aid's
LA.
gone.
That's a great pick for them.
Kool-Aid's already gone?
Kool-Aid is gone. He went to Miami.
Oh, Troy Franklin with C.J. Stroud.
You know
boy.
what? Get him out the division. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. If he's not going to be a Detroit Lion, I don't want him in the NFC North either. I don't want the what could have been right in our own division.
Facts. So now with Jordan Love coming into his own, we got a big-time edge rusher. Ranked number 18 continues to fall. We got more wide receiver, Brian Thomas, a tackle, a couple tackles here.
Yeah.
Graham Barton has been climbing up a lot of draft boards. What are you thinking?
Is still available.
Cornerback replace Jair Alexander?
I was thinking about a cornerback. I really was. But when you're talking about the NFC North, the one thing that you're going to talk about, what's probably the number one position in the NFC North position group, I believe it's the Detroit Lions offensive line. I believe that if you want to beat the Detroit Lions, especially the way we know the Packers want to, you got to go and get a pass rusher. You got to go somebody that can be disruptive on that line. And you already kind of stated the pick that I was going to go with, but I do want to see what the chat is talking about as well before I give my pick for the Green Bay Packers.
Mims, Dante151 says Mims. He's a tackle out of Georgia. Eduardo O'Neill says trade up diverse. I think he was talking about the Lions. I would not be opposed to that. Trade up for Quinyon Mitchell. He's not available quite yet. Penix is a plug and play. Darkour says about your Vikings pick, dog.
Yeah.
Really overseeing the edge. He says the edge, lay 2. Green Bay going to let Mulak be their center. Brian Malaga, that's a big boy. Pause. That's right, John Effin Lord. So the one I see is Mims, so which is an offensive lineman. But you're thinking defensive line.
I am. You're going to beat the Detroit Lions. You got to beef up that defensive line if you're the Packers. My pick, if you could put it back up there, man, for the Green Bay Packers, the pick is in.
Oh, the pick is in. All right.
Out of UCLA, edge rusher, Latu.
Oh,
nice.
You have to, man. You have to. It feels dirty to do. Ugh. I don't want to make the Green Bay Packers better in any sense of the word, but if we're going to realistically talk about what I believe they need to do to be able to take that next step in the NFC North and go from mere playoff contenders to actually being able to contend for the NFC North division, I think they got to beef up that defense, starting with the defensive line.
I love that pick for the Packers. Not for the Lions, but for the Packers. He's one of the most talented edge rushers in the draft. He's sliding a little bit, I think, because of injury concerns.
Yeah.
He's actually already in his young career retired, a medical retirement. He's retired medically from a neck injury, but he saw some doctors. He came back. He's supposedly all right. But that something like that might concern me.
It's a little scary.
Nonetheless, he's a freak. He's an athlete. He's a very talented edge rusher. That's a great pick. But your thought process also is right. The Lions are going to build with this offensive line, protecting Jared Goff in the pocket. Other teams, they're going to do whatever they can to get to Jared Goff and to try to to try to penetrate, that offensive line.
Good pause.
But you know what this means? This is pick number 29, and the Lions are up. Chat, I need your help here because I already see a lot of the playmakers I wanted are already gone. So this is the Lions at pick number 29. Let's talk about this. Let's see what they should do. We got 2 tackles here at the top of the draft board with Amarius Mims and Graham Barton. And by the way, Graham Barton, he could play all 5 offensive line positions. He's one of the most versatile offensive linemen in the draft. He can definitely play guard. He's probably more of a guard tackle than a center, but he's a stud. Moving down, tackle, safety. Peyton Wilson out of NC State, the linebacker. He's a very talented linebacker. Zach Frazier, center. Chris Braswell.
Keon Coleman is still out there.
Yep, Keon Coleman, cornerback TJ Tampa out of Iowa State. Go down a few more just so we can see. Kamari Lassiter is someone to consider.
Chop Robinson.
Chop on the edge. Darius Robinson at the edge. Now, I know these guys are ranked 44, 45, but these are some of the talented players, especially after the Combine Pro Days. They're the athletic freaks that may be climbing the draft board.
And you know Brad Holmes, he don't give a crap about positional draft value.
To the point where he may go down and get Mike Sanders still. There really isn't a need with Brian Branch, depending on what you do with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's more of a nickel cornerback, but you never know. Chris Jenkins.
Kyrie Jackson.
But
just some names out there.
Yeah.
Man, I was doing this, especially with I'm probably going offensive line. I especially doing an offensive line pick. I want to see like what the Lions would do in the second and third round because there's some dudes up there, but I think I'm going offensive line. I am leaning towards Zach Frazier, the center out of West Virginia. He's very comparable to Mr. Frank Ragnow. This dude is tough. I don't have much deep, in-depth analysis on him, but he's one of the best. So I'm going with either him, who is a true center, or Graham Barton out of Duke. What do you guys think, chat? Graham Barton out of Duke can play all 5 offensive line positions, or Zach Frazier, center for West Virginia. West Virginia.
So you didn't make an official pick?
I didn't. Yeah, I'm about to.
Okay. So the pick is not in. You're still on the clock.
Yeah, I got about 35 seconds.
Yeah, I was about to say you're using up all your time.
I'm using it all. This isn't Brad Holmes' fastest pick to the podium. Matthew Larson says Chris Jenkins, Eduardo O'Neal, draft Barton, and let's go. Mims, Dante151 says Mims. Give me the next all-pro center, Eric Allen says. John Effie and Laura, Duke. Denver Blair, the Duke kid. With pick number 29, with the 29th pick in this year's 2024 NFL Draft in Detroit, the Detroit Lions select offensive lineman Graham Barton out of Duke.
Let's go Detroit Lions, and half the fans, what are they doing?
Let's go. So before I talk about that for one more minute, let's see who the last few picks of the first round were.
Oh,
hey-oh. I don't know. You probably can't get out of that.
Subscribing.
No, I can't.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, they trying to get the money out you.
Forget it. We're moving on. Graham Barton was my pick. So we got Graham Barton. We got Letu to the Packers. We got Michael Penix at 11 to the Vikings. We had at number 9. Who'd you go with again? We had Marvin Harrison at number 1.
Marvin Harrison.
Oh, Jackson Powers Johnson.
Yeah.
You took JPJ at number 9, and I love that pick.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you. That was it. What do you guys think?
That was a nice little draft, man.
Yeah.
I want to preference by saying if the board actually felt like that, I feel like the Lions are moving up guaranteed.
I do.
Guaranteed.
I have a hard time believing the Lions are going to stay put at 29.
Yeah.
Like either move up or move back.
Yeah.
That 29th pick is an awesome spot for someone who wants to either move back in the first round or sneak into the first round to take a quarterback that maybe they want to sit for a year. Yeah. Not a Michael Penix, because I think he should probably play year 1, but a J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
You know, if someone wants to, a Seattle or a Minute, I don't ever want to trade in division, but if a team like that who can afford to let a quarterback sit for a year wants to move back, pick number 29 is nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good spot. Nice.
Hey, there was it. Number 1. Got that one out of the way. First mock draft season. First mock draft of the season. Is that Maz?
Mike G. Yeah, the Maz on gummies, right? I remember that day, man. That was an epic day. He said building an elite O-line has been the Lions' turnaround. It ain't sexy, but it's our identity. You know what? They make it look sexy, though.
They do.
They do.
They do.
They do.
And my thought process, just my general thought process is, we don't know yet. And the draft is after they're going to be making decisions on Jonah Jackson and Graham Glasgow.
Right.
But the fact that Graham Barton, who is talented, I don't want to take anything away, but the fact that he can play multiple offensive line positions, I see him fill in a Graham Glasgow-like role on that offensive line at any of the spots, preferably at guard. So we'll see.
Yeah. It was a lot of good edge rushers on the board, though. I don't know if I would like that, in regards. We can always get an O-lineman, I feel, especially in the second round.
Yeah.
I liked some of the edge rushers that were still on the board, so I would prefer that they go in that direction.
Like go to the Chop Robinson, the Missouri guy, the Daryl, the Missouri edge. Henderson, you know who I'm talking about. I would prefer a defensive player in the first round.
Yeah.
But all the projected top picks were gone. So, hey, Graham Barton it is. Moving on, we're going to do some more mock drafts tomorrow, next week. We're getting into it. Scouting Combine next week. We got to take a quick break here.
We're going to get to the fans mock drafts, too. I saw a couple people in there asking if we're going to get to it. We definitely are. I'm telling you guys, we're going to make sure that we include you all as much as we possibly can. You want to tell them what's coming up next, too?
Oh, yeah. We're doing our top 5 rivalries. We're channeling our inner DMAC, Colorado Avalanche, Detroit Red Wings rivalry, just giving our opinions on our top 5. All time, any sport, any player's rivalry. You can take it whatever direction you want.
I can't wait for this.
Put some examples in our show sheet, but hey, take it whatever direction you want. Kool-Aid, tell me about Guardian Alarm.
I will. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. It's technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Hey, Chicago Bears crybabies, 1-800-STAY-OUT.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Oh, yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry. I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What up, though, Detroit? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Woo!
Let's go.
I love this one, man. Shout out to the chat, man. You guys were so close to 100 likes. You guys are always on fire, man. Definitely hit that like button to support your boys, man. Support your Wake Up Woodward family. And let's continue to show Woodward Sports that you guys are a big part of this show, man. Thank you so much. The call-in number is pinned in the chat as well, 313-552-6322. Because this next segment, I would love to be able to hear from some Detroit sports fans, man. You want to tell them what we're talking about?
Yeah, top 5 rivalries in all the sports. Let's keep it simple. Interpret as you please, whether this is team on team or player on player. Call in, give us some of your top rivalries. Oh, check this out. Kool-Aid's cooking with that back screen. That's wow. Michigan, Ohio State at the top. Pistons, Bulls, D-Mac.
Bad boys and Bulls.
Avs, Bad Boys and Bulls. Should I just get right into my list?
I want to hear it. Let's go.
My number one. I'll get through this quick. Michigan versus Ohio State.
Yep.
There's probably some bias in there, but I think this is at least in the top 3, or should be in the top 3 of everybody's rivalries. I'm not judging you if they're not, but this is all time. This is a rivalry that's not going anywhere and hasn't gone anywhere for multiple decades. It's something I look forward to every year. This is what I think of when I think of rivalry. Also, at number 2, Yankees-Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yankees-Red Sox. It's maybe lost a little bit of gusto in the last couple of years with the Red Sox having won a World Series, in the 2000s, won a couple, not having the curse of the great Bambino. But I just think anytime it's Yankees-Red Sox, to me, that's the ultimate rivalry in baseball. Then at number 3, I'm going Lakers-Celtics. Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. Another iconic. Depending on what generation, Lakers and Celtics have been rivals all along. So that's what I'm going with. I think I know the guy who just walked by. At number 4.
Broder, man of the people.
Yeah, the ADD man of the people. Detroit Pistons versus Michael Jordan. I know that sort of shrinks the era of this rivalry, but there was nothing like it. And I wasn't super conscious as a baby when this was all going on, but the more I've gone back and studied and remembered these teams, watched games, watched highlights, there's nothing like Pistons versus Jordan. What they did,
Jordan rules.
Jordan is prime. The Pistons being the obstacle for him, it all factors into why that was such an amazing rivalry. And then at number 5, I got Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. This is a one-on-one boxing rivalry. It doesn't get much better. I had the pleasure, actually, the most famous person I ever met, Muhammad Ali.
Nice.
I played with his son out in Arizona, played college baseball with him on a summer team, and got to meet him near the end of his life. Muhammad Ali is a sports legend, an all-time legend in the world.
Model.
Yeah, we could spend an hour talking about Muhammad Ali. But Ali Frazier, number 5.
Yeah, bro, that's a great list.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that we can pick through with this, and I think this is a great list. And obviously, we're going to go and we're going to highlight some honorable mentions and some of our favorites as well. I do want to read some of your honorable mentions before we get to the chat a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I see mine already in there. Duke versus UNC, Will Chamberlain versus Bill Russell, Tyson versus Holyfield, Federer versus Nadal.
I like this next one.
Kobayashi versus Joey Chestnut.
That was it. Joey Chestnut coming into his prime. Kobayashi was at the top of the Davis hot dog eating.
It matters, man.
It does. It does.
Flannel versus Big Ben.
Flannel versus Big Ben and Flannel versus D-Mac. That was epic.
And by the way, I didn't put Red Wings and Avalanche in here because that's sort of what we're honoring tonight, but they'd be in my top 5.
Definitely Derek Fisher versus Matt Barnes. But I think another
30 hours.
They got you know that their beef is gone.
You think so?
You're right.
Yeah.
You sleep with someone's baby mama. I don't think that beef is going anywhere.
I thought that too, but it's Derek Fisher is coaching Matt Barnes' 2 kids, their high school team.
Oh, is he?
Or the other way around. One of them's the coach of the other kids.
That's tough.
And apparently they've squashed the beef. Matt Barnes learned that Derek Fisher, the guy hanging around his wife and kids, is actually a good role model or something.
You
How
never
messed up
get
is
over that? You never get over that.
Coaching my kids.
Literally, yeah, like
you won the beef.
Right, for real. Like,
I'm going to find out exactly. 100, it's happening. It blew my mind.
He drove 30 hours to whoop that guy's ass, man.
Bro.
Oh, my God. And I don't see how you get over that. You know how mad you got to be to drive that long just to beat someone up? Like, I don't know.
Shout out Mike G. He said D-Mac's left fist versus Claude's face. And you know what? That rivalry was so big that ESPN even did a whole kind of coverage special of it. Woodward Sports was there. It was last year at Fifth Avenue, and it was dope to kind of see the crews come in and see Claude and D-Mac up on the same stage talking about it. And D-Mac, he still has that same fire and passion. But Jonathan Lord, he said mine, man. Pistons versus Pacers back in the day.
Yeah.
You talking
That
about
needs
a
to be,
rivalry that spilled over into the fans, man, that honestly was kind of on the way to the Detroit Pistons winning a championship. And I think anytime championship runs are involved and it's about beating your nemesis, those guys were heated. And you talk about some of the similarities. Those teams almost mirror images of themselves. You got Richard Hamilton running around screens. You got Reggie Miller running around screens. I know he was getting towards the end of his career. You got kind of the Twin Towers and the big men of Detroit. And you had Jermaine O'Neal and Co. on the other side for the Pacers.
They had a squad.
And it was this all-out physicality. And that was a team that for a few years there, the Pistons were not favored over. They were not the team that was kind of finishing with the better records as it related to the Central Division. They had to effectively conquer the Indiana Pacers, and by the time they got to that kind of Malice at the Palace, man, sheesh, you could see that this was where the rivalry absolutely. It kind of just spilled over. It was just it was real. Yep. Let's just call it that, man.
Still seeing signs of it today.
Still to that, man. They're still salty, the Pacers. They went on a tour talking about that cost them. You know, the Detroit Pistons cost them a championship. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. You know, that's where I'm at. You know, another honorable mention. Detroit versus everybody.
Everybody.
All the
versus
time.
everybody, all the time.
Mike G says best WSN rivalry, easy versus stick in a jiu-jitsu match. Easy one.
Yeah.
Xavier D says Todd Bertuzzi versus everyone in the NHL. Facts. Yep. The Rock versus Stone Cold. Are you kidding?
Oh, best wrestling rivalry ever.
D-Mac, Claude Lemieux interview, post-rivalry is solid. Shout out Kurt David for moderating that. Flannel versus the chat. There's some good ones. Hell, Kanye West, Dante151. Kanye West made a song called 30 Hours. Was that about Derek Fisher and
Matt Barnes?
That beef was real.
Nah, it's exaggerated. He didn't actually drive 30 hours, but he drove a long time to go whip up on Derek Fisher. So
we'll just say it was 30 hours, man. We'll keep the lure going.
It is Derek Fisher coaching Crespi Academy, coaching Matt Barnes' twin sons on that team.
Wow. Ouch.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Brendan
you are
Dillinger.
not the father.
This one was funny to me, dog. Michael Finnegan versus Andre Johnson. That was hilarious.
Oh, Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah.
From the Titans, little Titans guy.
Yep.
With the
Andre Johnson beat him up.
I remember that.
Cortland Finnegan, yep.
That's what maybe we turn this into another segment at some point where we get more into those not historic rivalries, but those
one-on-one. Yeah.
Like that one, Andre Johnson versus Cortland Finnegan.
I got a quick one that I kind of grew up on. The Steelers and the Ravens. That was a good rivalry for a long time, especially in the mid 2000s and the 2010s. It was
That's true.
Rivalry.
What about Peyton versus Brady?
Oh yeah.
Or Tom Brady versus the Manning brothers?
Yeah.
That was a whole thing. Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady.
Bro, there's some epic ones here. I really liked it.
Keep sending them in. You guys have any others that would be on your list?
I'm trying to think.
I kind of hit some of the
Pacers.
big ones.
Yeah.
These are great.
Michigan State. That's got to be up there too.
Oh yeah.
We didn't mention that.
When we're just talking about just even rivalries, and we're not talking about the greatest, but just some of the ones that kind of held some type of importance for a season. Nelson Cruz, man, and the Detroit Tigers.
Man,
I want to talk about that one.
I don't want to talk about it, but goodness gracious, you talk about the Tiger Killer, man.
Killer.
Was tough.
American versus Lafayette, Coney Island.
Hey, that's a good one.
Yeah. Dan Wood. Nope, sorry. Bob Probert versus Ty Domi, says Randy Smalley. Oh my God. Flannel versus the air when he punches it from Mike G. These are epic. These are epic. Let's get to what trending with JB Smooth. But that was fun. I know we did that pretty quick, but this is again to honor Darren McCarty. It's Heritage Night down at Little Caesars Arena tonight. The Red Wings are taking on the Colorado Avalanche at 7 p.m. They're giving away a DMAC stick case. I think that's literally like a case of hockey sticks. I wish I could give you a confident answer. I know you hockey fans know exactly what it is. He's also going to be signing autographs of his book. It's going to be a great night. We look forward to meeting you.
Shout out Flannel, who just walked into the studio too.
Shout out.
I know he's going to be on Big D Energy today. People were asking earlier in the chat. Hey, he's on Big D Energy today, man. Flannel is a man of Woodward Sports and the people, man. Definitely.
Yes. Get high. You guys want to get high?
I want to get high.
Medically or recreationally?
Yes.
You can do that at Dispo. Visit Dispo Dispensary today for exclusive new deals. They have a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere. They got fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. So come through the Dispo stores or order on Dispo today. It's a new year, but it's new deals, but it's the same plug. That's Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and you offer more products to more people. Kool-Aid, that's exactly what Les Stanford did. KG, when they added Les Stanford Buick GMC, they still have the same great service that customers have come to know and trust, like JB Smooth. They're located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. You can also check Les Stanford out in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
Let's drive.
Let's drive.
Let's drive right down Woodward Avenue, where all of our Detroit sports teams play. It's really cool to have them all downtown as well. What up, though, Detroit? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we still see a lot of the chat sending in some of their top and their best rivalries. I know one of the ones we probably missed, Brad Holmes versus the media.
Yeah,
man.
right?
That was pretty epic when he stood up there and started calling out the media. Man.
You guys, that 2021 draft, you guys didn't want me to take Penei Sewell. A lot of people changing their minds.
I remember that.
Right? Charles McLean says, Broder, you need to do a thing about coaches against coaches or managers against managers. I love the Woody and Bo rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
Was a good one.
You guys are also schooling me in the break. What was it? The Fords versus Mike Valenti?
So shout out to Mitten Made. Yeah, the Fords versus Valenti. I don't know, a lot of Detroit fans will remember this, but the Lions game coverage literally got pulled from 97.1 for a period of about 5 years because Mike Valenti used to trash the Lions organization so much on air. And yeah, they just recently got it back, I think in like 2019, 2018. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, man, that was a big one. Yeah.
Epic. Eduardo O'Neill's goes Lions versus the refs.
Denver
especially in Dallas.
Maury versus Jerry Springer.
Jerry.
You know what?
Jerry.
When we talk about the refs, there's a lot of those that we can talk about. Rasheed Wallace versus the refs.
Mm-hmm.
That was an epic one, man.
Yeah.
That was an epic one.
Rasheed Wallace basketball versus honesty.
Oh yeah,
They don't lie.
Versus missed free throws, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I got
exactly.
I got one, man.
What up, though?
Draymond Green versus Nutsacks.
Oh, come on now.
Is that Jordan Poole's new nickname?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Go Blue.
Oh,
Juwan Howard versus winning?
Ooh.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Ooh. Flannel Sam somewhere is like
It's punching the air right now.
Great one, yeah.
Epic. Epic. All right, well, actually, this is Kool-Aid's intro. There's a very important person doing very trending things over.
Oh yeah, it is the most electrifying segment in sports entertainment. It is What's Trending with JB Smooth.
JB.
If you smell what JB is cooking. Let's go, man.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? Let me hop into this because today is a very important day. As the college football game, players can actually opt in for the game.
Nice.
There should be like 134 teams in it. Players will get $600 and a copy of the game when it's actually finally finished and out. And they're expecting at least over more than 11,000 players to sit here and participate in this game. But I think I've got the perfect cover for the game.
Give it to me.
Let's see it.
Good old Dan Campbell.
Oh, put him on there.
Nice. Good old Dan Campbell.
A&M zone.
Wow. That looks like he needs to be playing for Denzel Washington and the Coach Carter. Not Coach Carter. The Titans.
Remember the Titans.
That is a man.
I like that one.
That Man Crush Monday.
JB, what's trending with JB Smooth is electrifying, bro.
Epic.
It's epic.
With $600, is that would that be enough for you? Your college
Hey, can you throw that back up there?
Yeah, absolutely.
If Dan Campbell's on the cover, you know what? I'll opt in for free, man.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
That's dope.
That's beautiful, man.
Did you make that, JB, or is that pulled from somewhere?
I did not make this. This was pulled, actually. I found it off of X somewhere, but yeah. I mean, hey, if he was on the cover, I'm buying it. I don't care.
Yeah. Shout out to my ex.
Regardless, but all right, you guys, I need to borrow at least like $2,500.
Okay.
Wow, what's up, man? We got you.
Give me a proposal.
I need to borrow $2,500 for the latest in basketball equipment.
Okay.
So you might have heard about this. This is Wilson's new airless basketball prototype. It is 3D printed, and the number one question everyone wants to know is, how does it actually bounce? But before I even bounce it, there are other differences. This is a regular NBA ball. It feels different, like it's got this slick texture to it. It also smells very different. Kind of smells like a shoe. Also, I'm sure other people have heard of trypophobia, with the thing with the holes in it. Like, this has a lot of that. Might bother some people. But anyway, okay, real question. How does it bounce? NBA ball. Airless ball.
What?
It doesn't even have sound.
I got something to say about this after.
That's like 90% of a regular ball. That's crazy. I always wondered if things would get inside it, like if you played on a dirty court outside, but this is crazy. I did not expect that. Anyway, this thing is $2,500, so don't expect to see it everywhere anytime soon, but it is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Mike G, them balls must smell funny.
I don't know, but yeah. Would you guys pay for that?
No.
For basketball?
Freddie felt my balls are quiet too.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, my balls are 90% of the NBA too.
Listen, $2,500 for that, man. And I'm sorry, it reminds me of those basketballs that you get in the Easter basket. Like, you know, it don't even like it just doesn't feel real the way it sounds and all that. I'm not hooping with that.
I can't do it. I don't know if I can help you with that $2,500, JB. I don't know, man.
It's a dodgeball. It's a ball for dodgeball.
I swear,
it's the latest technology.
One of those bouncy balls you throw in gym class.
Oh my gosh, the chat is on fire.
I'm not
this,
hooping
man.
with that.
I don't know if I can read all these.
You
man.
bring that to the court. You
Mine are empty too.
If you bring that to the court, are you getting laughed off?
Yes. You bring that to the court. They're like, you know what? You can literally take your ball and go home. That's
Dan, what? At least those dropped. CK, mine are empty too.
I don't know if the court is gonna play with that. If that's the only basketball at the court, they're like, you know what? It's just not happening today.
We not hooping today, bro.
Nathan Lee says Draymond Green gonna kick them balls too. I don't like it. So to get semi-serious, like the noises of sports, the sounds of sports. That's a better word. Like the crack of a bat when you hit a home run, the bounce of a basketball, like that commercial. Back in the day,
the squeak of the shoes on the court.
Yes, Kevin Garnett, Steph Curry,
Swish.
It was the Nike basketball. Actually, I think the first one was before them, where it was the whole commercial. The beat was dribbling the basketball. Like, there's something special about that to me. Going into a gym and hearing a ball bounce.
Yeah,
it is. I'm telling you, man. One of the things that I used to do whenever I would hit a basketball court, kind of for the first time, you have that ball. The first thing you got to do is doom, 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 and then you kind of scuff your feet on the floor just to hear that squeak, man. It's just something about it. The swish of the net.
Yes.
Don't mess with that for me, man. As a hooper, don't mess with it. It's a part of not just what basketball is about, man, but those sounds of the game. They're important, man.
KG, earmuffs, because there's a top 5. I know you're a big D energy in the sound booth, too.
Yeah.
Honolulu BS says top 5 sports sound segments.
Ooh. That'd be a good one. I could pitch that to Neil.
That would be a good one.
That's a nice one.
I love the sound of ping pong.
Yeah. It's kind of relaxing. I get it.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
All right. Well, mailbag. We're taking this segment to the end of the show. Get some questions in. We can obviously keep talking about this. If you want to call in, we got a few minutes to go. But shoot your mailbag questions and we'll answer whatever you want.
Yeah. And you know what? While we wait for that to get in, remember we did the segment yesterday where we talked about who would you want to see up on the Cadillac building. And we've also talked about who are your greats. Mm-hmm. And you know what? There were a lot of fans out there making the case, and we're going to have to talk about this later, for Miguel Cabrera and for Calvin Megatron Johnson.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
On the Cadillac building?
Cadillac building, as well as among the greats of all time. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it is time to see. Is it time for an update compared to what we think are the greats, or is it time to just honor each of the different eras for what they brought to the city of Detroit?
Good thoughts.
Because Miggy and Megatron, man, they're some all-time greats.
They definitely are. Only problem is their hands are empty. They got no rings, but they're arguably two of the best players in their sports of all time.
Miggy's hands are not empty. They're just empty in Detroit.
Right. Yeah.
Good point. That's true. Good point.
And at least he competed for a championship here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, Kelvin.
They need to just make a mural, like a collage of all of our greats.
Forgotten soldiers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do that. Let's make sure, like we said, this platform, that's what it's about, man.
Yeah. And they just had the official design for the Detroit, the Hollywood Detroit sign that they're putting up. Yeah. Or the official, what do they call it when they show a rendering. That's the word, rendering.
Mason Leach, Calvin doesn't just deserve a statue, but needs a statue here in Detroit.
Yeah.
I agree with that, man.
I think his story is also, it seemed like it was finished in Detroit, like all the negative stuff around it, but like every month even, but this year having him back around the team, just having everybody in good spirits, who knows what that relationship turns into and what he does in Detroit with the Primitive brand and all he thinks he does as a businessman. Calvin Johnson is a Detroiter now.
He always has been. He never turned his back on the actual city of Detroit. He's always stayed here. He's always showed love to the city. I'm with it. I'm on board.
That's what D-Mac was talking to us yesterday when we were meeting and D-Mac came in. He's like, he's he's from Detroit. He's from Canada, but he's like, Detroit's my place now. Like Isaiah Thomas, one of Chicago's all-time best hoopers, and they decided to let him come here and be a Detroiter.
And Calvin, he is a man of the people. He's been in this building, in this studio several times. He takes the time to talk to everybody who wants to talk to him. He's taking the time to give advice as it relates to this media game. And JB and I actually got to kind of meet him, take a picture with him, talk to him a little bit at the Golf Classic, Mark Wahlberg's Golf Classic that was here in Michigan. And you talk about a guy who's just down to earth. He just feels
Very
like a Michigander, man.
Way back, chill.
Yep.
Definitely. So here are a couple mailbag questions. This one's for KG and JB. Mailbag from Eduardo O'Neill. Why is MJF's theme song the best in wrestling? Also, who's MJF?
MJF is a wrestler with AEW, a former AEW world champion. I mean, I like his theme song, but I'm biased, man. I like Swerve Strickland if we talking AEW, Cody Rhodes if we talking WWE. You can't really beat those theme songs. But JB, how you feel, man?
I mean, I like MJF's theme song, but I probably got to go with you with Swerve Strickland or
Prince Nana dancing. Come on now, can't
Prince
beat that.
Nana. Yeah, I definitely got to go with Swerve. That's like the best one. And then I think I saw a video where like he finally actually looked at him and was like, "Oh, this is what you've been doing behind me the whole entire time." Okay.
Right, didn't even realize it.
Love it. John F. and Lord, mailbag broder. Who do you want as third baseman for the Tigers? This year, I want a platoon. I want Andy Ibanez to be there when left-handed pitchers are out. He mashes lefties. And then a combination of Colt Keith, maybe Jace Young in the middle of the season, but Colt Keith and Vierling or McKinstry.
So
I'm okay with the platoon this year.
Really? So even maybe approaching trade deadline time, let's say that's the one piece we need to really catapult this thing?
Well, let's revisit this conversation then, because depending on where we sit, I may have a change of heart going out and getting an everyday third baseman for this season.
Yeah.
I personally would rather invest or go out and get a relief pitcher to try to shrink the games and still allow your young hitters to be in the majors, get at bats without having to score a ton of runs, take the pressure off a little bit. But hey, if they're contending even higher than the AL Central, you might need to go get that bat.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? Shout out to Xavier D. He kind of got me thinking here. We might have to do a segment on this, maybe even reoccurring. What Calvin pose would you choose for the statue? And what that gets me thinking is talking about these greats, their best moments. Just like how we did with the Kobe statue and we talked about some of his iconic moments. We're going to have to take some segments like on multiple days to talk about our Detroit sports greats. Desmond Howard definitely. There's only one moment that you can build a statue out of with him. But with a guy like Megatron, I think there's several moments. When you're talking Miguel Cabrera, there are several moments.
Yeah.
Definitely several moments.
JV.
The Calvin,
JV, yeah.
The Calvin statue got to be when he mossed those three players on the Dallas Cowboys.
Which one? Which one? Which time, though? Oh, the Dallas one
Yeah,
or
the
the
Dallas
Bengals
game.
one?
That's a good one,
Because
too.
He did it multiple times. That's
He
what
did.
I'm saying. That got to be a segment because we're going to definitely talk about that.
Definitely.
We got to. I like that, man. Shout out to Xavier. And shout out to the chat, too. We asked. You guys delivered. We have run through 100 likes. Definitely before you guys take off today, continue to smash that like button, man. We appreciate you guys. It's the best chat. Any more?
It is. You want to do a couple more or
Let's
call
do a couple more. We go overtime.
Perfect. I just had some. Dan Wood, mailbag, biggest punchline in all of entertainment. That's what she said, or Brandon Katz, that was a great take on Penix. I might have missed that one in real time, but I can only imagine what that conversation would have been like. I actually think we got a segment coming up about all-time like sportscaster calls.
Nice.
You know, Stuart Scotts of the world, the Ernie Hallwell, where we have to imitate it. We have to give our best imitation.
Stuart Scott. Gosh, he was such a legend.
He stood there like a house on the side of the road.
Yes. Yeah, Ernie Harwell. See, KG with the Ernie Harwell reference. Let's go.
With the windmill jam on a regular dunk. Shout out George Blaha.
En fuego.
Right.
Let's
Count
rock.
that baby in a foul.
Back. Gone. Nikki Redmond? I can't get that high. I gotta go to Dispo.
Score! Let's go. No, touchdown Detroit Lions.
Oh,
yes.
Man, you talk about
Epic.
straight up energy. I'm just like, woo!
Yes.
Epic, man. Yo, we're so blessed as Detroit sports fans.
We are.
So blessed.
Let's call it a day.
Let's call it a day.
If you're going to the Red Wings game tonight at LCA, come find us. We're going to be trailing
We'll be
DMAC.
there.
We're going to be celebrating DMAC and the Red Wings Avalanche rivalry. It's Heritage Night down at LCA.
I ain't gonna let them forget. Coach Kool-Aid is in the building. Detroit Lions got that grit, and they got the NFL shook, man. I'm so excited. As always, you guys know we talk about all of our sports teams here. We like to make sure that we include our fans, the best chat in sports, man. For KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick, man. The only KG that matters around here in the sound booth, man. You did a great job. You bring the heat all the time, and that sweater is fire, man. I think
still
that's fire
fire.
show today. Hey, for Woodward Sports Network's MVP, man, JB Smooth over there in the TD booth. I'm grateful to have you a part of this team, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and that hat is still crispy, man. As always.
Oh, thank you.
Always.
Oh, Genie, yeah, I know.
Yours too, man. It's very appropriate.
Thank you.
For our Detroit Lions and our Detroit Tigers, credentialed beat writer and reporter who does great work, Mr. Matthew Broder, and it's your boy Brandon Dent, aka Detroit Kool-Aid.
Our credentialed Pistons beat writer and reporter, the man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you, brother. You guys, as always, man, have a great day. We can't wait to see you all again tomorrow, and I hope to see you guys tonight down at LCA. The crew will be there. We're looking to interact with you guys, man. It's just a little bit of overtime for you guys. We don't mind performing, right? We don't mind. But hey,
for you,
what
Eric.
up, though, Detroit, man? This has been Wake Up Woodward. Have a blessed day, y'all.
We out.